What's up, guys? Mr. Lee Redmond here with episode number 12 of the Unemployment Challenge. As you can see, there has been a change since the last video. I am no longer manager of Salt Hill Devon, and I've taken what I would class as a very good step forward in taking over as Shamrock Rovers, one of the better teams in Ireland. After the third season, as everyone remember, I once again kept Salt Hill up last season. Only just, though, to be fair, only just. But still, is another notch in the biography and all that, keeping Salt Hill up. So during the close season, I didn't really plan on moving teams, to be honest. My aim was to take Shamrock to Salt Hill to Europe. That was my aim. But I was having a look at the jobs, because obviously in Ireland their seasons run from, I believe it's March to October. Now October, November time is when the first lot of jobs seem to go in the mainland Europe, like England, Spain, Italy and all that lot. That's when all the jobs seem to go. So I thought I'd have a bit of a look and see who was there. And one I did look at, I had a look at my reputation first, and I'm actually national reputation in Ireland, which isn't too bad. So I had a look at the jobs that are available, and one caught my eye, and I must admit it's a little weird. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm a Bristol City fan, and they weren't in trouble or anything because they're in the Championship, I think, on this game. However, our cross-city rivals, Rovers, have been relegated and are in the Skrill Premier. Now, not only that, but they were in administration at the time and had no manager. I had a look at the table and they were bottom of the Blue Square Premier. And so I thought, just out of interest, I thought, you know what, to hell with it, I'm going to declare an interest in the job and see what happens. Declared an interest in the job, went on a couple of days, came back to say that basically the board laughed off my interest. And I thought, okay, fair enough, I'm not too fussed. But at the same time, a couple of news stories up, Shamrock and Derry City had sacked their managers, and I thought, with them being in Ireland and I got a national reputation in Ireland, I thought I might as well just see what I can do. So I declared interest again, and both clubs were actually flattered by my interest. And I thought, okay, in that case then, I applied for both of them, and I also applied for the Rovers as well. I don't actually know why, considering they laughed off my interest. But surprisingly, I got an interview with the Rovers. Did the interview, went through it, and also got an interview for Shamrock. Didn't get one for Derry, they went for somebody else. But I got the Shamrock job first. They offered me that first. I didn't actually get offered the Rovers job, because for some reason their philosophy was to score quite a few goals from set pieces. And I don't really do that sort of stuff. I don't really set up full-on tactics for set pieces and penalties and corners and defensive positions for corners and things like that and free kicks. I don't do that stuff. So I said that I didn't really want to put that as philosophy, so they didn't actually offer me a job. I got it at Shamrock. It's already a step up in the sense of Shamrock are, I don't think they're professional, but I think they're semi-pro or professional, whichever one it is. So basically their players have contracts, whereas Salt Hill were amateurs, and they didn't. So I could lose any player at any time. So I decided to take over Shamrock, and they've got quite a decent side, as you can see there. There's a couple of decent players. So what I'm going to do, guys, is just going to go through the confidence and show you what they want us to do. Premier Division, they want me to qualify for Europe through the league. Senior Challenge, they want me to get to quarters. League Cup, they don't actually care. So we're now going to the fixtures, and it's not been a bad start. We started off with friendly against Monaghan, we drew 0-0. Beat Newbridge Town 4-1. Marvin Johnson got 2. John Tambu, I think is how you say it, and Seamus Lismore. And we beat Review 3-1, who's actually one of our feeder clubs. Is it feeder or parent clubs? I keep getting mixed up. David Elbert, David McMillan, and Enda Cohen scoring for us. So we didn't have a bad pre-season. Started off with a 2-2 draw with Sligo, and this was good because this was a comeback draw. We went 1-0 down thanks to Danny North in the 11th minute, Adam Hodgson made it 2 to Sligo in the 37th. We actually went in 2-0 down. David Elibert equalised, pulled one back, for us in the 60th minute. And David Millen equalised just 4 minutes later. James Chambers unfortunately got injured for us in the 80th minute. And then David McMillan in the 5th minute of added on time. Thankfully, though, they didn't score a goal after either of those. There's 11 shots to 7 in Sligo's favour. They had 6 on target to my 4. And they had 57% possession. We then lost 2-1 at Cork. Again, they were 2-0 up early on. Brian Collins putting them 1-0 up in the 9th minute. Dean Kelly making it 2 just 10 minutes later. We were 2-0 down at half time. The comeback was on again as Paul Dunphy pulled us a goal back in the 51st minute. And I'll show you a bit more about him in a second because he's actually one of our signings. There's 11 shots to 8 in my favour. I had 6 on target to their 3 with 52% possession. I won 2-1 away at Bray Wanderers in the cup. Paul Dunphy putting us 1 up in the 29th minute. Scott Whelan equalising with just 3 minutes to go before half time. And Dunphy getting his second of the game to make it 2-1 with just 11 minutes to go and putting us into round 2. 12 shots to 8 in my favour. I had 4 on target to their 3. I had 51% possession. We then won our first game in the league, and interestingly it was at my old club Salthill. Dunphy put me 1 up in the 27th minute. Sean Fortin made it 2 just 7 minutes later, and we were 2-0 up at half time. And James Chambers made it 3 on a streak of full time to give us our first 3 points in the league. 21 shots to 7 in my favour. I had 6 on target to their 3, but they had 53% possession. And to be fair, it turned out actually, between Salthill and Shamrock, we've played 6 games, and before this game, it was actually 3 wins apiece. I then drew 2-2 with Bray in the league. Dunphy again, getting a double. Jason McGuinness though put Bray 1-0 up in the 18th minute. 60 seconds later, Dunphy equalised. He then put us in front with just 7 minutes to go before half time. Unfortunately, Scott Whelan equalised in added on time in the first half to make it 2-2. 13 shots to 10 in my favour. I had 6 on target to their 4. I had 57% possession. We then followed that up by going out to Waterford in the second round of the cup, which is annoying because they're actually in the first division. A Jamie Smith goal in a 49th minute, giving them the win. 16 shots to 13 in their favour. I had 6 on target to their 3, and they had 51% possession. I then won 3-0 at Shelbourne, who are newly promoted. Dunphy put us 1-0 up in the 16th minute. Sean Thornton made it 2 just 9 minutes later, and we were 2-0 up at half time. Paul Dunphy then got his second of the game to make it 3-0, just 2 minutes after the second half started. There were no more goals in the game, however Robert Maloney was sent off for Shelbourne in added on time. 14 shots to 7 in my favour. I had 8 on target to their 5, and I had 53% possession. I then made it 2 wins in a row by beating Limerick 5-2. Marvin Johnson put us 1 up in the first minute. John Tumber made it 2 in the 15th. He then doubled his tally just 8 minutes later in the 23rd minute. Darren Dennehy put 1 in for Limerick right on the strike of half time to make it 3-1. However, it wasn't to be as Paul Dunphy yet again got us 4-1 in front. 5 minutes later, Sean Fortin made it 5. 5 minutes after that, David Tierney pulled one back for Limerick, but it wasn't to be as we ran out 5-2 winners. 13 shots each. They had 9 on target to my 5, and they had 57% possession. We made it 3 wins in a row by beating Bohemians 2-1 at home. Sean Thornton in the 33rd minute equalised as Joe Moran had actually put Bohemians 1-0 up in the 18th minute. James Chambers got us the winning goal 2 minutes into injury time, and we ran out 2-1 winners to make it 3 wins on the spin. 14 shots to 10 in their favour, 5 shots each on target, and they had 55% possession. It's not ended well though, because as you can see we actually had 6 home games in a row, but it's not gone very well as we drew 1-1 with Dundalk. Paul Dunphy putting us 1 up in the 51st minute. Craig Burns got injured for me in the 72nd minute, and bloody surprise, just 60 seconds later Dundalk equalised. It's 13 shots to 3 in their favour. They had 2 on target to my 1, and they had 52% possession. Unfortunately, we then hit more of a blip as we lost our first game in about 7 games, as we lost 2-1 at home to St Patrick's. Glyn Flynn put St Pat's 1-0 up in the 42nd minute, and we were 1-0 down at half time. In the second half, a Ross Gaynor penalty made it 2-0 to St Patrick's. James Chambers did score one for us from the penalty spot, but it was an added on time to give some, and it wasn't enough time for us to get an equaliser. 20 shots to 6 to St Pat's. They had 8 on target to my 2, and they had 53% possession. Final game of the section was Sligo getting a little bit of revenge against us. Aaron Morris put them 1 up in the 11th minute. Ian Sweeney made it 2 in the 18th. Paul Dunphy pulled one back for us in the 29th when we were 2-1 down at half time. However, Gavin Pear's goal in the 67th minute gave Sligo a 3-1 lead and the 3 points. 20 shots to 9 in their favour. They had 8 on target to my 3, and they had 51% possession. So we ended up not a bad section, to be fair. We won 4, drawn 4, lost 3. It's a little bit of interest because the fixtures are kind of out of whack a little bit. I mean, I've played Sligo twice. I've now got Longford, who I haven't even played once yet. So we'll go into the Premier Division table. You see, I'm 6th. I am 4 points off St Pat's, and 4th is where I need to be to get into Europe, and 7 points off Dundalk. So it's not too bad. It'd be interesting to see how it is at the end of the second section of games. To be fair, if we're still about 4 points off, we might have a chance. But I think any more than 6, I don't think we'll be getting into Europe that way. So it could be down to basically the Senior Challenge Cup. And as you'll see here, actually, we are in the Senior Challenge Cup now. We've been drawn against non-league Malahide in the second round, which will be done in the next section of games. And interestingly, we've actually got, I think it's 3 all Premier Division ties. We've got Dundalk against Bray, Derry against Bohemians, and Cork against St Patrick's. So there's a potential for, there's 3 guaranteed to go out, and who knows what else can happen. So what we'll do, guys, is actually go to finances. We're 200,000 in debt, and we're due to be 400,000 by the end of the season. So I hope we kind of do need to get back into Europe to get that down a little bit. Transfer wise, I don't think I actually brought that many in. I can't actually remember. Yeah, 2. All of those have actually gone when I wasn't here, apart from Rice. I think it was, he may have actually left while I was there. But these 2 have been, only Paul Dunphy's been brought in by myself, and he actually come in from Bray, so he's already scored 4 goals against his old team. Stats wise, not surprising, Dunphy is leading goal scorer in the division with 9 goals, and he's got the second best average rating of 7.51. So that's not too bad start, guys. I reckon not too bad at all. So I mean, my aim really with Shamrock is to get them back into Europe, and hopefully a couple of a couple of runs, hopefully in Europe, maybe get into the second round or third round or something, could put me on the map for some clubs higher up in England or Italy, Spain possibly. So you never know, we'll have to wait and see. But that's it, guys. Leave some likes, leave some comments, subscribe, would appreciate it all. Tune in next time for games 12 to 22 of the section. Until then, guys, as always, take it steady.